I've said before, a market crash is imminent. Now, this evidence proves it's just around the corner. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5 here in Dubai. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Man, you know what? I heard about this before the news started showing up everywhere, and I wasn't sure if it was true. But, you know, AI has confirmed it, that it is true. There is smoke, and where there's smoke, there is fire. And yeah, Nvidia and all the Mag7 are in a lot of trouble. We could see a collapse of the market, because although Nvidia is not going to go anywhere, even if they're committed to fraud on the highest levels, it doesn't matter. They're not going to go bust. Worst case scenario is the stock goes down, and maybe the CEO is replaced. Maybe, but don't count it. Yes, the system is rigged. It's all fraudulent, and they get away with it at the highest levels, and that's just the way it is, right? This is the reality we live in, and there's nothing we can do about it except buy Bitcoin, right? Because then this reality only exists because they can print money and buy themselves a way out of any trouble. If you could print a lot of money, you could buy yourself out of a lot of trouble. Now, can't you? There you go. Yeah, that's right. You would be able to buy yourself out of a lot of trouble with, you know, hey, here's 25 million pocket change, right? Sure, that will get you out of any kind of problem in this society, right? So, with that said, right, these guys have that access, and that's the way it is. That's the world we live in. And speaking about, and you want to know probably what exactly is Nvidia accused of, there seems to be a detected fraud going on, right? I mean, this fraud was found out before even, and the AI systems were pointing this out by other people, right? That have mentioned it long before. AI said, "Whew, I'm going to hit the sell button on that one." So, as much as people would like to say, "Oh, look, AI did this really quickly," it's not really true. This was discovered quite sooner than this, and it basically identified, right? Links are in the description below, that they're basically doing a circle jerk where they're sending money to each other to buy each other's products. One person buys Nvidia gives that other person to buy more stuff, and then they buy more stuff Nvidia, and then Nvidia books the profits, and it's just back and forth. And so it's more of like a bigger circle, of course, right? So it's not like, oh, Nvidia gives Oracle and Oracle buys Nvidia. No. It's more of Nvidia gives Oracle, Oracle gives Microsoft, Microsoft gives Nvidia. That's how it works. And there's more to that than that, right? There's a whole bunch of things going on, but basically, they're also giving chips to people or companies, AI companies, without them having to pay for a long time, and so they might go under, right? And this could end up with a write down. So this is big, right? This is why we have people who are in the stock market are adding shorts to Nvidia like on a massive scale. In fact, it's so big and so real that I would, if I was interested in getting into the markets, right, on the traditional markets, I would put puts on Nvidia, but I don't do that, right? I just can't. I stay completely away from the markets. It's just Bitcoin for me and cryptocurrencies. That's it, because I know that I own it. I don't have to worry about some complex contract that they say, well, no, right, that I didn't read about because it was like 10,000 fine prints, and they didn't bother telling me. So this is the scam that's going on. And, it is what it is, right? I just don't like the traditional markets because, hey, you know what? They didn't tell me that, hey, by the way, we can print money. By the way, when you go to buy the stock's not yours, right? They didn't bother telling me these things, right? Up front. So, yeah, that's why I'm not a person who likes the traditional markets. But yeah, if you want to read through this, it was a very interesting read through. Also got AI to give me a breakdown of the situation. And it basically stated that, hey, you know what? There's a lot of smoke in the air. And yeah, it's almost like a 5-alarm fire is about to go off, right? So hasn't gone off yet, but it's about to. All right. This is why, you know what? You need to just stack sats. Just you know what? Put $1 right now. You guys can do that. Go buy $1 worth of Satoshis. Simple as that, right? Because I begged you guys to buy $1 worth of Bitcoin and you didn't listen. So why don't you buy $1 worth of Satoshis right now? Right. And if you're interested in trading, of course, right, you can trade at Bybit or Blowfin or even Binance. There's lots of different exchanges. And if you click here, you can see a lot more exchanges that you can actually trade at. And I'll be adding some more in a little while. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin right here. Let's just connect. And yes, this is oh, by the way, if you're interested in TradingView, right, you can get 80% off right now. And you can just type in TradingView, davinci15.com, or you just head over to the referral links below, and then you can gain the 80% off right there and a little bit extra. Okay, so it's tradingview.davinci15.com. All right, so with that said, take a look at that weekly. We have a weekly candle opening way outside the Bollinger Band, way outside. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't close outside the Bollinger Band. It just means that the likelihood that we will close outside the Bollinger Band is diminished significantly. So, with that said, there is more up move to go, most likely. So, but before we go up, honestly, I really believe that we'll see a retest of the $82,000 level just to check to see if we did. Is it true? You got to buy? You guys want to buy? Because these people who are like, oh my God, I held, I should have let go. I got to get out. They're probably going to push this thing all the way down and the buyers are going to come in. Now, with that said, I think we're going to head back up and break above the 90K level, into the 90K level, and maybe retest the top 91.2 K level before we actually roll over, most likely with Bitcoin. And we'll see how that plays out. But I really think that this is the most likely scenario going forward, down, then up, and then down again. We could end up breaking out all the way to retest close to, since this is just the 4-hour, we could end up as far as close to maybe the 96 to 100, close to the 100K before we actually break down for the final countdown, right? That's how markets work, right? Alrighty. Especially in Bitcoin markets. Okay, let's take a look quickly at the other markets that we have been neglecting lately. Let's take a look at Ethereum, which absolute colossal collapse, right back down to its key level, which we were marked like from a long time ago, and we held it, and we're still trying to hold it right now. It's got to hold the $2,700 mark, or else it's lights out. All the way back down to 2,100, and yeah, pretty brutal situation for Ethereum. Okay, now looking at Solana, you can see we are on a downtrend heavy. Wow, what is this? A 4-hour downtrend? Yes, oof. damn, since like November 13th. Oof. Oh, damn. We must have drawn this from somewhere else. Where did this get drawn? Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Damn. Oh, damn. We drew this from somewhere else. Oh, wow. And now we're below this line. Oh, my goodness. Wow. This is just catastrophic. But hey, at least we've reached a key level here, the $125 level. And we're trying to hold that level before I don't think we're going to hold it. Honestly, we'll probably break out from this downtrend, because this downtrend is just like has gone on way too far, right? But once we do, the best case scenario for your hopes and prayers, right? You can see is this is still the parking garages that we've been talking about. Is wow, look at that. Really, really respected the parking garages heavily as it was coming down and raining down heavily. You can see that, well, we could head back up to 175 before we actually start to break down again on Solana. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.